I'm the head of enterprise for the Department of Apparel. I also teach. I lecture international fashion and business. For enterprise, we have the following projects that we are running with our digital body scanning technology. We're working with the Aqualab in Speedo. We are working with ASOS in London on digitally body scanning for them. We are also working with the R&D arm of Kinetic for the MOD. It really worked differently for me because MMU chose me. My background is I run a commercial business. I was a sales and operations director for a garment manufacturing business based in the Northwest. We had an MMU student on placement. When the business went into receivership because of the holding group in 2008, I was instrumental through my connections in the sector to get the industry placement student a new job so that she wouldn't fail her year out. The university then came back and asked me to come on board and to do some associate lecturing. That was in 2009. I did that for 2 years. I had really good feedback, really enjoyed the job, and secured a 0.5 contract in 2010. From an MMU point of view, I think the hardest thing for me was to be humble, because my background in the industry, I worked at quite a senior level and was very capable and competent in terms of what I did at work. When I started here, I had to go back and retrain. I think the hardest thing was learning to ask for help, because in industry that's a sign of weakness, whereas it's a total requirement if you're going to develop in your role here. Ask any busy woman with children who works, and like me, you work 2 different jobs. You're very focused, very well organized. I get up early, I work late. I don't waste time. I'm very efficient, so I'm quite religious in terms of what I'll do in my time and the results that I want. I think the biggest thing for me was that people that I consider are miles above me in terms of their expertise and their academic background wanted to work with me and felt that my input was of value. I felt overwhelmed by the amount and caliber of people that have helped me at every level and are dead encouraging for you to do well and to develop as a researcher and as an academic. We're working on establishing athletic fit for the team at Speedo, so that's a totally new direction for them. We're looking at capturing the data for the UK for elite athletes here. Then, if that's successful, we're going to look at how we do that in the States and Australia. Also, with the work that we've done with the MOD and the work that we're planning to do with Kinetic, I think that will affect that specific sector of the market. And I think then working with the School of Art on design, where we're taking media art and applying it into garments and garment construction. That shows that there can be crossover between faculties and be really successful. I've been a supplier to Marks & Spencer for over 15 years. I've worked with Tesco, Next, Dunnes Stores, George at Asda, Mothercare. I'm trying to think who I haven't worked with in the sector. I haven't worked at top-end design. I've worked with nearly everybody in the middle high street UK. My job works really well because externally in the sector, if I think people that are relevant to work with the university, I can bring them in. I think as a university, we've got a lot to offer. If we can get the right people from industry and the right people from the university together, it's a win-win. Typical day, a lot of Skype. I'm up early. I'm usually at my desk here for about 8 o'clock. I like to be in early and get stuff done. When I'm at MMU, because my time's limited, it tends to be booked at least 2 weeks in advance, so I know exactly what I'm doing when I'm here. I'm just completing a master's in academic practice. I have a day's teaching and then a day on the enterprise side of things. So it's never a typical day. It doesn't work like that for me. I understand garment manufacturing, very good on garment costing. I understand the actual process from raw material through to bulk production. I understand the needs of business. I understand the needs of retail because I've supplied them. So it's really about offering a cost-effective solution to a very cost-sensitive industry that's very fast-paced and very ruthless. In terms of my career, I want to be the best at what I can do, and I think the university have identified quite quickly my skills and where it fits in for them. So yes, I want to develop in the role and be successful. And yes, I'm really keen to operate and develop my career in academia. My lifelong ambition was always to work for myself. And I'm very privileged that I'm now, this far into my career and I have that opportunity. I'm very demanding, but I think it's having that level of control. And if you've been made redundant twice, for anybody listening to it, that is a big crushing blow. So when you're in a situation where you have some level of control over your career, nothing, you can't beat it. I work really well with the team at Knowledge Exchange, because to me we're all together. I'm not an expert on how to apply for funding. I'm not an expert on what's going on in MMU. It's a big business, so for me they're instrumental in terms of me delivering on time, hitting the objectives to get the grant funding, because it's all about getting the cash in to be able to develop and do the research and to deliver it against a time frame which can be difficult.